I got a couple of topics today, but I just wanted to hit on this whole thing pertaining to Xavier Worthy, and then also later on, I wanted to talk about DDG and Halle Bailey. But this first story, it was crazy because when it first came out, it wasn't much said about it. I mean, people was talking about it, but it's starting to get to the point where it's like the whole Me Too movement where people was just automatically believing the women to now where I'm at the point where I just automatically believe the men. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so rampant with these lies now that I'm almost feeling like should women accrue some type of a charge or should it be some type of charge pressed against them for these false claims on these guys and just coming out and making up anything about them, saying they beat them, they R-worded them, all kind of stuff. And then we only find out later that it was all a lie. So I think we're getting more and more to a point where a lot of these women are just losing their credibility because people are really just getting fed up and they don't really want to hear the lies. They don't want to hear them making up stories and saying that a guy assaulted them when we find out that they were really the aggressor. All of this stuff is really coming to a head. And I'm glad because this feminist movement to me has actually ruined a lot of relationships. It's ruined a lot of people and it's ruined our whole society because when you have really women just in charge of so much and feeling like they're on the even playing field as a man is not really even. But they don't want to get the same type of consequences that men get, but they actually want to be equal to men. Okay, well, just like you have women, well, men going out and getting into these relationships with high school students and getting charges put on them, and they'll get life and 50, 40 and 50 years. And then we'll see a female, she'll do the same thing, actually have a kid with one of these students, and she'll get probation. What was the one young lady? She got like probation. Some of them get like a couple of years. The charges are very, very small when it's compared to what the men get. So that's why I say when it comes to this whole equal stuff that they trying to put on us is not equal because they don't want to be charged the same. They don't want to face the same type of consequences as men face when it comes to stuff like this. So it's I just think like I say, I think we've hurt our society when it comes to stuff like this. We set a dangerous precedent a long time ago and it's had lasting and residual effects on people, the way a lot of these women think, because I'm a big opponent against these women who are out here with all of this rap music. Like I don't care about them rapping, but it's like what they call it, like coochie rap or whatever. All they talking about is like fucking guys, trying to get over on the dude, what I can get out of the dude. It's like it's the worst parts of what this feminist movement has done to a lot of people. That's all these women are talking about. From your damn Megan Thee Stallions, Glorilla, who else? What's her name? Lotto. I mean, that's all they talking about. They coochie, they coochie, they coochie. And they shaking their ass everywhere they go. If you catch them eating McDonald's, you catch them walking, they bend over and twerk. They at a concert, they twerking. They trying to pull other women up on stage and get them to twerk. They don't care who it, just anybody just twerking. And you got your daughters. I got a daughter, who's listening to this. My daughter isn't like that. Like I don't. From what I've seen, I'm not gonna say like anything that I don't know how she's out when she's not around me, but for the most part, just based off her character and what I know about her, and I'm sure she doesn't. She's not out here like shaking her ass and twerking and doing stuff like that in public or whatever. But we have a lot of people that's out here just, I mean, it's crazy. The ratchetness in our community is ridiculous at this point. I mean, when you see, like I say, these people on TV, you see them anywhere. They just popping and shaking ass, popping and shaking ass. And so this whole equal stuff is it done run rampant in our community, and it has affected us a lot. But this story that I had was the Chiefs wide receiver Xavier Worthy. You know, he got falsely accused by his girlfriend, when in reality, she was the one that pressed charges on him, and she was the aggressor. Not only that, but he had been trying to get her to leave the house or leave wherever they was living for a while now. So you got to think about this. You got a guy who caught the girl cheating, wanted her to leave. She wouldn't leave. It's been going on for weeks. He didn't say much. You know, he was just maybe trying to give her some time, not trying to be forceful with her because he knew what could happen if he just took it to another level. You see, he didn't immediately kick out. That's how you know that he was getting extorted or whatever was going on, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna read that to you, but that's what a lot of these women do. They try to put you in a situation where you damned if you do, damned if you don't. I know you're a celebrity. I know you're an athlete, so I can use this against you and make your life hell. So if you really want to kick me out, then it's gonna be hell to pay. Now, I can cheat on you and I can treat you any kind of way, but you can't treat me any kind of way. And when I leave, I want this, I want some money, I want all of this stuff. But she messed it up when she cheated. You got an athlete, somebody who has money, who's going to continue to get money. He was a breakout athlete with Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and others on this team. I mean, this is a really good team. And he was a standout player. So you just gonna throw that away to go cheat? That's on you. That's on you. You don't get to decide how he reacts when you get caught cheating. Those are the consequences. That's the even playing field that y'all wanted. Remember? Feminism? Y'all wanted this even playing field? Well, you got it. So the consequences are even. When a man cheats, y'all want to either cheat or y'all want to leave him. So when you cheat, he wants to leave you. So why can't he leave you? Why won't you leave? Why do you feel like you can just stay at this man's house? He didn't even press the issue because he knew what the consequences would be. Check this story out. This is from US Weekly. Says New Beginnings Worthy 21 wrote via Instagram story on Sunday, March 9th, sharing a selfie of himself lounging in bed with one hand resting behind his head. News broke on Saturday, March 8th, that Worthy had been arrested in Texas the day before the alleged assault against a family or household member. It is not known who accused Worthy of domestic violence. At the time, the Chiefs organization noted in a statement that they were aware and gathering information regarding the incident. Worthy was drafted in 2024, eventually scoring the team's first touchdown in last month's Super Bowl. The Chiefs ultimately lost the big game to the Philadelphia Eagles. Worthy was released several hours later on Saturday after the district attorney declined to press charges. After further investigation by the Williamson County Sheriff's Office and further discussion with a third-party witness, Mr. Worthy and his attorneys, this case is being declined at this time pending completion of the investigation by the Williamson County Sheriff's Office. Williamson County District Attorney Sean Dick told Austin American Statesman, Mr. Worthy and his lawyers are fully cooperating with this investigation. That's the picture that he had posted. He cut his dreads off. But hold on, I got this other. Adding to the saga, Worthy's attorney Chip Lewis and Sam Bassett released a statement Saturday asserting his innocence. They painted a very different picture from the initial allegations claiming Worthy was the victim of an extortion attempt. According to them, the complainant a woman living at Worthy's residence had been asked to leave multiple times over the past 2 weeks after he discovered her infidelity. So this went on for 2 weeks. He knew she had cheated for 2 weeks. He had been trying to get her to leave. But in her mind, for whatever reason, she felt like, I don't have to leave. I'm not going to leave. I like how women play that game where I gotta have my cake and eat it too. So not only do I want to be able to cheat on you, but I want to make it where you can't leave me at the same time. Now you got to be stuck with me. I don't care what you do. Now, if it was the other way around and she was the breadwinner and he cheated, bro, don't you know she would have wanted his ass out of there so fast? Not only would she have wanted his ass out of there, if he didn't leave, she was gonna call the police. Or we know how black women, I'm gonna call my brother, I'm gonna call my daddy, I'm gonna call my uncle. I'm finna call all the men in my life over here to fuck you up. So that's the game that they play. When it's the other way around, they want it to go exactly how they want it to go. But when it's you, they want to control the situation from the beginning all the way to the end. So I can cheat on you and then demand that I'm going to be able to stay at your house. Not only that, I am going to stay at your house and ain't nothing you can do about it, even though you're asking me to leave. This is what I'm saying. This feminist movement has made women not want to have the same type of consequences that men have when it comes to certain things. They want to they want everything else to be equal except the consequences, which is some bullshit. So like I say, you didn't cheated on this man and you don't want to leave his house. I think I think that should be some type of trespass. They should start pressing charges on her. Not only for the false report that she put out, if I was him, some of these dudes need to definitely start suing the pants off of some of these women. They lying on guys, sending guys to jail, getting folks beat up, getting folks hurt, quite possibly killed. If they call the wrong family member over or whatever, you could get just because you upset, just because you didn't get your way. Now you didn't put this man's life in danger. So now he got to go home, see you there. You ain't supposed to be there. He wants you to leave. How can he even sleep in his own house comfortably when he's knowing somebody's there who he don't want there? And you know how women are. So she probably in his house begging him, baby, don't leave me. And she going through the whole emotion. She's begging him not to leave. Then she'll turn around and probably get mad if you leave or if you try to kick me out of here, I'm gonna go to the reporters and I'm gonna say you beat me up. So now his hands is tied. Now he just threw his hands up. The whole 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure he was thinking, how am I gonna get out of this situation? What am I gonna do? Damn, if I go to the cops, she gonna say I beat her up. And the cops gonna believe her. Not only is the cops gonna believe her, but she can slander you in the court of public opinion. Now she can get the public against you. She could possibly just make up a post and say something bad about you or say you did something to her, and everybody on the internet is gonna believe her. They're gonna side with her. And there you go. That's all it takes. She don't really need the courts. Now you got the internet. You can slander people, put them in bad situations, make them feel like crap, slander their character, and then you're gonna win the outcome. You're gonna come out on top. And by the time that they finally recover, it's usually years down the line when somebody finally comes out and say, man, she was lying about that. Somebody who should have came out, or some type of tape or text, or possibly her. She'll wait till after his career is ruined for like 10 years and then come back and say, you know what? It was this one time when I lied on Xavier and said he beat me up. And he didn't beat me up. I lied about that. Now she finna get another payday because she didn't did an interview. She'll go on Vlad TV or something. He'll give her 20, 30 bands and she come up here confessing after she done ruined this man's career. You remember that black chick who lied on those lacrosse players? She came back years later, and now she said she lied about it. After all the bullshit she got them into, slandered them. And you know what? They probably didn't want to show their face after that. They didn't want to be seen because everybody was gonna say them dudes was rapists. Only to find out that they really wasn't rapists. So that's what I'm saying. They using their privilege against men. This is what they doing. Because they know people gonna side with them. You know what I bet he did? He didn't got all that money. He didn't got in the league. He's doing good. Now he beating on women. That's what they gonna say. So obviously somebody was in the house, maybe a maid, maybe some type of assistant who came out and said, "Man, nah, we've been trying to get her out the house. Man, he caught her cheating weeks ago. She just don't want to leave. She just don't even want to leave the house." But the story, hold on, my headphones just went off. Let me make sure I'm okay. I'm still good. But the story goes on to say they allege she refused to vacate. She damaged his property, scratched his face, and even pulled out his hair. Claims they say are backed by photographic evidence. So he was really a smart person when it comes to this. He took pictures. He didn't retaliate. He really waited. Because even when it came out, I don't think he put out a statement or anything. He didn't say nothing, which is a really good move on his part. Even though we know a lot of times we want people to come on out and defend yourself when that's not what you want to do. A lot of times you kind of want to wait, let people make their judgments, and then come with your evidence. And he had evidence. Said he had photographic evidence. He scratched his face, pulled out his hair. So she was the type of woman just gonna do whatever she want to do. I bet you she was the type of woman that talk to you crazy. See, in public, she would get out there and put on a good smile. But then when she's behind doors, she act like she controls you. See, those are the type of women that you don't want to have a baby with. And I'm pretty sure he realized that at some point. Because if he would have had a baby with her, she would have definitely felt like she controlled him. She would have definitely felt like she could do and say anything to him, anytime, any place, anywhere. And that's a fact. Because women do it all the time. They have babies with people so they can manipulate situations and control the guy. So if he would have had a baby with her and then broke up with her, you know what she would have did? She would have still tried to, she would act like she can control his whole life. Oh, you with this new girl? Okay, you can't get your baby this weekend. She would have started doing stuff like that to him. Then they started playing games like this. It'll be Valentine's Day. You need to come get this baby. Even though she might not even have a date. But she gonna try to make it, she trying to make you jealous. Only on top of that, she trying to ruin your Valentine's Day. That's what they do. They have these babies for extortion purposes and try to control people's lives. A lot of them, especially people like him who got money. You see the way she was acting, like I said. So you know if she had that baby, she was definitely going to try to control him. You need to pay for this. We need this and we need that. You owe me this. I had your baby, so you owe me all of these things and some. Which is insane how they think that. It's almost as if that child isn't even your child. That's how they try to manipulate the situation. It's just as much my child as it is your child. And that's the whole thing with Umar. What I was saying, they going against Umar, but at the same time, I'm thinking, look, we don't know the whole situation. How you know that the mom didn't keep Umar from that girl? She coming out saying that Umar was never there. How do we know that? She could just be saying that. Umar said he had the paperwork. I know how people feel about Umar, but I'm speaking from experience. I'm telling you, they can lie on you and make it seem as if you don't want to be in a child's life when that's not the truth. Now, my baby mama, she couldn't run that game on me because my daughter, no. Even to this day, my daughter, you couldn't tell my daughter none of that. She wouldn't believe you at all. You could just put that to bed. That dog won't hunt. What's up, Dark Kent? You say it seems for a lot of women, accountability only applies to men. Exactly. That's facts, bro. It only applies to men. In their eyes, it only applies to them. That's why they feel like they can treat and do you any kind of way. Because in the end, they honestly feel like they are always right. They honestly feel like that, bro. That's why the court side with them, no matter what. Because I could tell you an instance when I was trying to get custody of my daughter. I was taking my daughter to school. I had my daughter enrolled in a school right around the corner from my house. I was taking her to school every morning, picking her up. And then she decided that she wanted my child. And I showed them paperwork where I enrolled my daughter in the school from around the house from me, around the corner from me. And they still made us do the whole 50-50 custody thing. My daughter was clearly staying with me at this point in time and had been staying with me. And I was not keeping her away from her mom. Most dudes don't do that. I was not keeping that child away from her mom. I would never do that. If she wanted to see her daughter, I'd take her over there or she'd come get her. I wasn't trying to put her off on the weekends or none of that stuff because most of the time I was at the house anyway. But see, they went to court and they lied on me. So that's why I say I'm speaking from experience. And the judge, despite the paperwork and everything that I gave him, he still made us do the whole 50-50 custody stuff, which really ain't even 50-50. You know how it is. You get them every other weekend. That's not 50-50. But they call it 50-50 for whatever reason, but it's not. But yeah, like I say, if she would have had a baby with this dude, it'd have been bad news for him. And his career just got started. She would have definitely tried to ruin this man's life. And that's what a lot of them want to do. They want to lock a lot of these dudes in to something that they can forever control, which is sad. And a lot of dudes actually fall for it. And the funny part about it is, it's usually these black women. And then they sit up here and wonder why a lot of these black men be with these white women or women from other races. They really get mad about that. Well, damn, the dudes be fearful when you get that much money. Does she got good intentions? Because a lot of black women, they eyes light up. They seeing dollar signs. They feel like, damn, I'm finna get this no matter what. I'm finna control this no matter what. And it's crazy because it's like, why are you sabotaging good situations that y'all are in? Y'all got athletes, people with money, people with prominence, people that got something going for themselves. And you cheat on them? You risking that to cheat on him? And then when you get caught, you want to demand that you're not leaving and you're going to stay in his house. Then you beat him up and scratch his face and pull his hair out. So now, not on top of that, you're not even giving yourself the opportunity where you could possibly come back. Because we know some of these dudes, they'll forgive you. Maybe in time, they might say, man, you know what? We was young. Let's try this again. But y'all throw that away when you doing stuff like that. I mean, just trying to totally manipulate the whole situation. They want total control. They want to have every aspect of your life in their hands. They want to control where you go, who you talk to. Hell, some of them even play the long game. They'll wait till you retire and then divorce you. At least those are smart enough to do that. She couldn't even make it a couple of years before she started cheating on the man and got caught on top of that. So she ain't even good at that. And we know how women can lie. They good liars. So you can't even lie on that. This man be playing football. How did you get caught? Said Worthy's attorney also released a statement following the arrest. He says, we are aware of the allegation that led to Mr. Worthy's arrest. His lawyers, oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I read the wrong. The complainant made a number of extortive efforts prior to resorting to this baseless allegation against Mr. Worthy, the attorney stated. They added that Worthy told police he didn't want to press charges against her, and they expressed confidence that the sheriff's investigation would clear his name. It's a bold counter narrative, and one that seems to align with the DA's decision to step back. So she made a number of extortive efforts prior to resorting to this baseless allegation. So not only did she cheat, now she's extorting him multiple times. So I could see why he didn't want to make a move. That would be a bad move all the way around. He was really thinking about a game. He was thinking about a game plan. Not only did he do right, he went and got a lawyer. He was taking pictures. He didn't jump the gun. He took his time. And when she messed up, it was a wrap for her. Only thing about it, I would have left the house. If I was going to take my time and do what he did, I wouldn't have stayed there with her. I would have definitely left because I don't know how she would, she at this point, she's losing it. She could snap in her sleep and try to stab me. We know what could happen. So I definitely wouldn't have been in the house with her. But I definitely would have been like him and get my ducks in a row. I'd have got my lawyer. I'd have had my pictures. I would have had cameras in the house of just in case any type of incident or any type of argument or altercation that she wanted to get into, it was going to be on tape. She seems like a dangerous person to me, but they always try to make it seem as if these athletes are so dangerous. They're so violent. They're so aggressive. The CTE, he's moody. He's going through a lot of emotions. He's not happy. He lost the game. He came home, assaulted me. Those are the type of plays that she would have tried to run on this man. But it just didn't fly because he didn't give her that type of opportunity to do that. But for her to sit up here and extort him, okay, you cheated on him. He caught you. Tried to get you to leave. You kick him, punch him, scratch his face, pull his hair out. Now you're extorting him. So you got assault, extortion, and trespassing. He a better man than me. Because at that point, after the extortion, I would have hit her with all of them. I'd have said, yeah, I want to hit her with trespassing, assault, and extortion. And I want to file a civil lawsuit. Okay, you wanted to wreck my life? I'm finna wreck your life. You wanted to wreck my life? I'm about to wreck yours. I'm suing for what they call it, damages. Is it punitive damages? Yeah, so that's where I want to know where this is going. Is she gonna get hit with any of these charges? Because to me, that's out of bounds. She way out of bounds. How do you cheat on somebody, assault them, and then extort them, and nothing happens to you? See, that's what I'm talking about. There's no accountability for these women, just like Dark Kent said. It's no accountability for them. They can do some of the most egregious shit to you, and nothing happens, and nobody expects nothing to happen to them. Now, if it was the other way around, she didn't even have to say nothing. The police would have definitely hit him with trespassing, assault and battery, extortion. They would have hit him with all of that without her even asking. But see, when it comes to a man, they won't do it. He got to go up there and say it. Then on top of that, they may think it's a joke. Man, you let her beat you up? They may think it's funny. People don't even believe you can be assaulted. Just like what was they talking about on Kendra G show when that guy he got sexually assaulted and she just was dismissive of him? She's making it seem as if men can't be sexually assaulted. How did you get an erection? Those are the type of questions that she was asking him. You could have put on a condom. You could have left. They don't ask women those type of questions. Well, why were you there? Why you didn't leave? When he was coming onto you, you could have left the room. How was he able to have sex with you if you had your clothes on and you took them off? I mean, y'all want everything else to be equal. Like I say, the consequences need to be equal. Accountability needs to be equal. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Why are they always giving a pass for bad behavior? Wait a minute, you said everything was equal. You can do everything a man can do. Okay, you just did something that a man can do. Okay, now you need to go to jail just like a man can. You need to be charged just like a man can. You need to be sued just like a man can. You need to accept the consequences just like a man can. I mean, a lot of this is just, when I was going through it, I'm thinking, how can anybody get away with something like this? I'm reading these stories and I'm serious. I'm like, why haven't I read not one story about her being charged? See, I'm to the point where now I'm serious. Like, I want these women to be charged. Somebody has to be made an example out of, because the lies and everything else, it's out of bounds. It's so far out of bounds. It's ridiculous. Somebody just put Drewski and Odell Beckham Jr.'s name in a lawsuit. Drewski said, I wasn't even famous then. I couldn't even been around at the time. And I believed it when it dropped. I said, that's a lie. I could just I said, that is a lie. Now they lying on this man. Like, I'm so ready for some of these women to the hammer to drop down on them. Somebody need to press charges on these women. They need to do civil lawsuits against these women. It need to be some type of a crime. That in itself, to me, is extortion. Because I think a lot of these women can lie on these famous athletes, artists, whoever they are. If they got a lot of money, slander them in the court of public opinion, and then they'll have to settle on a case for a certain amount. And they couldn't have never even met this person. But if they quite possibly may have took a picture with him, like a fan photo, then they could say, yeah, after this photo right here, when we was in the lobby of the Hard Rock Hotel, we took a photo, and if after the photo, we were talking, and he said, come up to my room. And I came up to his room, and he sexually assaulted me. That's all they gotta say. They could make about 4 or 5 paragraphs of the story, put it on their Twitter account, Facebook account, and people is gonna read it. It's gonna go viral, and all she got to do is mention a couple of details about him that night that she met him, make up a big story. People gonna say, "Man, what do you got to say for yourself about these allegations?" She said, "Y'all went up to her hotel room. You gave her something to drink. She passed out. She woke up. Her clothes was off, and then you left the room." Like, that's all they got to say. They can say anything, and then it's on you. Now you got to defend yourself, but it's really too late because she got the first shot at you by putting this out there. Now you look bad. Now she's taking you to civil court, and she want $2 or $3 million. Now you got to come up off $2 or $3 million. You trying to settle because you just want the case to go away. You just want them to stop talking about it. Now you could fight it, but most people don't fight it because after you fight it, you're gonna be out of even more money. Now you fighting, and now it's on TV every day. They doing the trial. They showing the little the artist drawings in the trial. I mean, it just makes you look crazy. Now Johnny Depp. Now, now Johnny Depp. When that old girl tried to do him bad, it came back to bite her in the ass because she looked it like the fool. She looked it like the aggressor. To me, she actually seemed as if she may have been on some type of drugs or something, some of the stuff that she was doing. They were both probably on drugs. But the stuff that she tried to make it seem as if he was doing, it didn't work out in her favor. So she gave it her best shot. But see, he used his fame, he used his ability to sway people in the public by the way he was talking and acting up there, the stuff that he was saying, the stories he was telling. He knew how to use it against her. So I really applaud him. And I think a lot of men need to do stuff like this. They need to start challenging these cases. They need to start challenging these women who hit you with these false accusations and lie on you. Because once it happens enough and they don't win these cases, a lot of them gonna stop. They're gonna think twice before they try to put a man under some type of duress or some type of fraudulent charges or anything that they try to do, which needs to be done. Our society has went down because of this stuff. Hell, they gotten so many of us to ruin careers of people. And I'm talking about the public, based off of what a lot of these women have came out and said. And then when you really think about it, sometimes you like, those are just general encounters. They just made it seem as if the guy was an asshole or he did something wrong with her. And it's like, yeah, he essayed me when I went to his apartment. And then they'll keep telling the story. And they're like, yeah, well, it was one day that I called him. Then I went back over there and he did it again. And then you get to thinking like, well, why are you going back over there? No, you can't ask her that. That's a victim. She's a victim. How dare you question why she went back over there? Sometime in a victim's mind, they go back. You're like, what? They don't avoid these people? No, it's a, and they get a psychiatrist to go up there. Well, when sometimes when women get assaulted and they're so fearful, they go home and maybe the guy will call back and he'll invite them out again and they'll think, oh, maybe he wants to make up for what he did wrong and they want to go back and try to make the. It's like all of this BS. You just like, man, stop. You went over the house 3 times, bro. You went over the house 3 times and he essayed you 3 times. Now you want $6 million. What's up, Chanel? Now you want $6 million. This stuff, bro, I'm telling you. I'm serious about that when I say that these women need to suffer the same type of consequences as men when it comes to these false accusations. Feminism, right? They wanted to be equal. Ain't that right? Don't women want to be equal to men? Except when it comes to consequences, huh? What you say? Women are always right. You think women are always right? Lord have mercy. That's the issue. That's the issue. She says women are always right. Nope, they not, Shadell. You say, give me my money. See, that's what it's about, though. I mean, you playing, but that's what they be about. Now she done lied on this man, scratched his face, pulled his hair out. Now she's extorting him. Now she extorting the man. Didn't even want to get out of his house when she got caught cheating. And now he owe her something. That's the world we live in. Now, if he had had enough and went upside the head, everybody would have been in a tizzy. How dare he? Man, he beat her up. Well, yeah, I mean, she didn't want to get out of his house. She started extorting him. She was punching on him and kicking on him. Then it turns into, well, he should have just called the cops. Well, if he'd have called the cops and they'd have just came over there and arrested him, because all she was going to say was, he beat me up. It's crazy. Oh, what I'm talking about, it's this case with this football player, Xavier Worthy. He, I think it was this weekend, he had got arrested for assault on somebody in his home. They didn't say who it was and whatnot. And then the DA declined to press charges against him because somebody came forward and said it was all lies. She had got caught cheating. She was living in his house. She didn't want to leave his house. After she got caught, then she tried to extort him. She beat him up, scratched his face, pulled his hair out, and basically was trespassing, didn't want to leave. So he just kind of sat back, played his cards right, got his lawyers together. But he said he didn't want to press charges, which is crazy to me because I feel like a lot of dudes now, they need to press charges against these women and sue them. It's time for that. It's time for them to get sued. It's time for them to get charges pressed against them with all of these lies, especially like Drewski and Odell. These women need to be locked up. They need to go to jail. They need to suffer the consequences. They need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I don't care. You wanted to be equal? Well, you equal. You doing stupid stuff, you're gonna get charged like a man. And then I pointed out the fact that these women, this whole the way women society just believes women or just doesn't hold them to the same standard as men is you got men who have been with high school students and they get life sentences and 40-year, 50-year sentences. And then the women, they actually having kids with these young students and they'll get 10 months probation, 2 or 3 years. Just some ridiculous stuff is going on. It doesn't make any sense. You say these new chicks are different. Yes, sue her. Get you a mature lady. Yeah, get you somebody that's not gonna cheat on you. I was just saying earlier, man. I be catching heat for this, but I'm just saying, like, it be these black chicks. They do these dudes like this. Like you got a good thing going. You can have more than what you want, and you decide to cheat. And then they wonder why. See, his next person he'll be with a white chick, and then everybody be mad at him. Well, why is he with the white girl? Damn, he just giving his wealth to some white folks. Well, you just had a whole black chick try to extort you, beat you up, cheated on you, and said she wasn't gonna leave your house. Now that you got some money, this your his first year in the league. You don't think that spooked somebody? Well, maybe he just picked the wrong black girl. Man, in that situation, you're gonna be like, hell no. You're gonna start looking around and seeing your other teammates come up in there with some white chick or some Latino chick. You gonna be like, man, look, I tried it. I don't know.